since we are in Italy, it's a great moment for us to talk about the Farm to Fabric to Fashion master's course that Lee and I founded at Polimoda. And one of the areas that the students work on is, of course, knitting. They have an amazing lecturer called Silvia Amorosino, and they had created amazing samples and sort of half garments already in their first year. We now have the second cohort of students who are starting next month, the 9th of October. And so we look forward to seeing this course grow. But one of the most unique parts of the course is, of course, its first semester, when the students get to discover the essence of fibers. So looking at farming, looking at the creation of wild fibers, including fibers from Japan, as well as looking at grasses and flax, as well as looking at wool, of course. They go to the Netherlands and study with Claudia Youngstra. They also look at yak and cashmere under the tutelage of Daniel Costa up in the Tyrol region. So the first semester is actually a very interesting foundation for them to understand where our materials come from and how to not only gain respect for materials, but also to understand how to talk about them in a much more intimate way. And so when the students that we're about to meet did their first presentation of their midterm, let's say, it was after 1 year, but they already had, I think, an incredibly deep understanding of fiber just because of their 9 months of training. And it was very poetic and very moving, and also very emotional for Lee and me to see them grow so much, even just within such a short amount of time. So we look forward to what they're going to do in their second year. And so I'd like to welcome Sabrina and Priya and Gigi and Marinela. I'm not sure who's going to go first, but they're going to speak for 20 minutes about their work. I think it is who's speaking first. You have to tell me. But
Yeah,
hi, Gigi. Hi. So we look forward to hearing more about your views, because you are the designers of the future and the textile thinkers of the future. And so it's super interesting to hear your perspectives on our relationship to fiber and even our relationship to cloth and knits. So take it away, Gigi.
Thank you so much, Philip, and thank you for curating such a beautiful space. We're all very excited to be here and just lucky to be learning about such beautiful, beautiful things. So I wanted to give an ode to earthing in line with fibers and connecting to the earth, because I mean, that's the essence of it all, really knuckling down to what holds us, which is nature, earthing, especially with everything going so fast paced at the moment with digitization. And a lot of our degree that we're doing is we really tap into the grounding point of what holds us. So natural fibers, how we use the earth, how we live in the earth, and how we be. And Rami, this is photography of just Rami fiber. And it just shows that even the essence of a fiber has a holding point that will be infiltrated into a final garment without necessarily people being consciously aware of it, but it's there. And it holds its own strength, just like people do. And if people wear a fiber that holds strength, it will maybe impact them at some level they don't yet realize. So with that, it's almost tuning into what the buyer wants to consume and what the consumer almost feels when they wear something. So I think with everything becoming so digitized, people will want that craving of what actually belongs to them and grounds them and anchors them down in product and in fabric and interior and fashion. So just like nature has its structure, so does an outcome, and its structure has more meaning and profound nature when we connect and really just find that way to be more raw, be more conscious, be more slow. And yeah, this can also just be through inspiration of looking at nature around us and then finding inspiration in spontaneous ways, because I guess we want to tap into that spontaneity more. And this is actually, I found this image of mycelium and mushrooms, and it's just little structures of nature that can almost spark that interest in humans to be a bit more innovative with what we wear, and, you know, like bring it to a different form or elevate it to new heights. That, you know, there's always room to improve our imagination. And I think that's where we all aim to be, and what gives us joy, especially with how the world's heading, or sometimes with vulnerability of mental health, or for kids, maybe they need to anchor down more. So yeah, I think the whole point of our masters and just the team that we have together as a group, which we're lucky enough to bond so nicely together as, is really finding a communal space, not just with people, but with the farm, with the fiber, with the process, and allowing that in some way, whether it makes an impact consciously or not, to help the lives of others. Yeah, and I'm just super happy to be here. I'd love to pass on to Priya, who's an incredible person, and she's from India, but she's back in Florence now, and I'm really looking forward to hearing her.
Hello, my name is Priya, and I'm going to talk about fiber, yarn, and our relationship with the land. So, a hope, a restoration, and revolution. A fiber has the potential of being anything and in any form. A fiber is like a child dancing in the field. It has a mother taking care of it, wrapping it in their gentle hands, combing it, making the fiber its best version. Is the relationship with the fiber, is the relationship that the fiber has with the people who touch it, the people who spin the yarn, the people who sow the seed. That is what makes the fiber strong. The fiber has its own rhythm, its own emotion, and it has its own life and afterlife. We have to respect the journey of the fiber. A yarn could be a non-violent yarn, like the spinning of khadi. It could sting like a nettle. It could be sticky like a lotus stem. So a yarn have their own characters, their own colors. Us humans, plants, and animals, everything is interconnected in this whole spectrum. As I spin and spin more fibers, it makes me understand how to live life, how to be patient, how to make, remake, destroy, and reform. These are some of the natural fibers which I started working with, and to spin them into yarn and to have a different feeling of content altogether. So as I spin the yarn, it molds on its own, like it has its own character. And a lot of my work is titled A Home or Nest, to be able to find a sense of belonging. This is the work titled as Nest, made with nettle and yak wool. And lastly, I would like to show this video of I visited a forest in Bombay where they make this bracelet with this plant called heart leaf moonshade, and because it has some cooling elements. And my point being that nature has everything to offer to us. We just have to pause and take a look, and we have to respect and offer everything that has been offered to us by the land. And I now pass on to Sabrina.
Hello, everybody. I would like to start my presentation with spinning. For me, it's a new occupation. I started this year. So almost all memories or yarns that I make are connected to memories. And one memory is from this year where I spent a lot of time with my nephew, and he was just really interested in my spinning wheel. So we took one afternoon and I let him touch the fiber and then also smell it, and then we sat together and spun the yarn, and he was super curious where it's coming from. In this case it was alpaca, and what we can make out of it. And it was super nice and playful and beautiful afternoon. And it reminded me also of our first semester, because it was somehow how we approached the fiber. We had the possibility to take time and really feel it, smell it. For example, wool has this really intense smell of a sheep, and sometimes it has plant parts in it. And then flax is completely different. It has the sound from the seed capsule, so you can say fiber really has its own character. And the most beautiful thing was that we had teachers who shared their knowledge. Here we are spinning with Schraderkocher together color cotton. And it really helped us to manage the fiber or to know how to handle it. And then when you can work with the fiber, you are able to work with nature and not against it. And I think one of the most beautiful things that you can do is to dye with natural ingredients, because you embrace the fiber and not conceal it. For me, somehow craft became really a ritual that somehow reflects my inner self and how I am. But at the same time, I can reflect what is outside of me or in my surrounding. For example, this summer, the Northern Lights, and I made a knitting that was in the same color. And I think the garments and also the objects that we create really thoughtful and with our time and our craft, you can really feel it when you wear them. And yeah, when you see them, they have their own spirit. What makes me really hopeful is that we are a big community of people who share passion, and it's not only our course or the teachers that we have, it's everybody who who is passionate about textiles. And I think together we can really make something better. And I want to end again with my nephew. And what I take into the second year is we should be more like children, approaching the world with joy and wonder, using our fingers, tongue, nose, and ears, asking questions, training our imagination to create a system that is more human, caring, and lively. Thank you so much. I pass the screen on to Marinela.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Lee. Thank you, Philip. So I want to start this talk with this cardigan that my mom made and my grandma spinned the yarn. So I grew up in Albania, where the using of hands and the sewing with fibers was important for women, and they used to do it always at home. So I grew up with these two women, seeing them, and I think that influenced me a lot in my growing. So by choosing to come in this master, I went back to my roots, and I noticed like how every fiber can give to me like different emotions, different memories also about my childhood, that when I came in Italy, I almost forgot. And I choose this picture of hands because when I started spinning, I remembered my grandma doing it, and was like, I never thought about it since I spinned for the first time. And I had this my first approach, like with nettle in a strong way, because for the first time I noticed that I can use the fiber like a medium to express something that I had inside, like something in this case was the memory of my childhood with my mom and my brother. And when I saw the nettle plant, I remember this scene of my mom picking up the plant and beating us, and so I in a way I forgot about it, because I don't know if maybe it was trauma or I don't know, but I had the possibility to come back there and to put it in art, like to make for the first time a sculpture. And then this is like a hand with a whip, all made in nettle. And then we had the opportunity to work with other fibers, like this is an ostrich tender, and you have to, like, to obtain the fiber, you have to hammer it, you have to open it, and with the fiber help you also to, like in my case, to use the intuition, and it comes like this. At the end, it comes like this necklace that is really strong and beautiful, I think. And then to look at the fibers in another perspective, like to see the beauty on it, and to like it in his own, like just by doing nothing, just not to work on it. It's just beautiful, like it is, and yeah. And also like to give a message to use fibers to give message to people, to the about what is happening in our environment now, and so it gives to me, it gives me a lot of empathy, and yeah, oh, sorry. Yeah, this was some experiments with Nuiter, and I'm concluding by saying that between these two images, the first one of the dress was in my last collection at my university in Naba, and this is the same twist, but how it's different. Like now, this is the hand is more. It's more like it's with the soul, and that one dress was like more just by doing and not knowing where to go. So I think that the master is giving is fluids and makes you go really into the deep and knowing about yourself, about fibers, and really it's I'm feeling very, very grateful, and that's also a hope for our future, like to change it and to do something, and I'm very grateful to be part of it. So thank you. Thank you.
so much. Thank you, Marinela, and thank you also, of course, to the others. I think that you are already practitioners of textiles, so we're very excited to see where things are going to go, along with Luna and Lois, who are also studying with you. I wanted to just show everybody a 2-minute film of when you guys started, because you all, I think, got to know each other when you went to Holland to the wool farm. So I think it's a nice memory of the beginning of your time together. So I'll just show that now for a second.
It took a bit of time to know and understand the material, and it's something different to work with animal fiber. There is a lot of emotions, so it takes time to understand that emotions. But I think once I got connected to it, it really guided me through its way.
When it comes to this design, that's also a multifaceted practice, and I think the fact that we're here is really inspiring us to hopefully create a similar movement one day and pick up momentum with creating a better world and connection and authenticity.
My son always says, you have to feed it. I think that's the most important feeling.
So my favorite part was the dyeing, because I'm from Albania. We're using similar methods like my grandma did in my childhood, and I was stunned when I discovered this.
And what is in here? Oak bark, shell, all waste materials in a sense. Sourdough, ashes from the wood oven. So everything what you have experienced at our farm is in a sense in here.
I can only say a massive thank you to everyone involved in this project and this vision, because for us it's not only been inspiring, but it's been a road to connecting to the earth and bringing that connection into our final products.
It's beautiful what they do, their generosity of sharing their art with us. It's something that I will never forget in my whole life. And this place is amazing, it's so peaceful, and is good for the soul.